In this episode of The Frieze, the Yankees continue to have the best record in baseball, but with 1 month until the trade deadline, they must be all in. Next, we'll take a look at Oswaldo Peraza's red-hot June in AAA. Is he almost ready? Also, we'll preview the Guardian Series, check in on some former Yankees to see how their seasons are going, and we've got viewer voicemails. It all starts now. I'm Derek, and this is The Frieze.
Good afternoon. How do you like that?
Swinging and a miss on 1-2-2. Swinging and a miss.
You know, every trade deadline is different, and with this year's deadline approaching, the Yankees have to be all in. First off, though, let's talk about this road trip that's kicking off. The Yankees played the first game of a 10-game trip last night in Houston. Now they head to Cleveland. I'll have more on Cleveland in a minute, but the Yankees have already clinched the best first-half record. The Yankees currently lead the American League race for home field advantage over the Astros by 6 games in the loss column. And you've got bullpen reinforcements coming back. You've got Jonathan Loaisiga coming back. You've got Domingo Germán, who can pitch out of the rotation or out of the bullpen, coming back. And you've got Aroldis Chapman coming back, who seems to have pitched his way out of the closer role as much as Clay Holmes has pitched himself into the closer role. I still think you're going to see Aroldis Chapman a lot, especially if you've got a 3-run lead or something like that. But Holmes has really pitched himself into the highest of high leverage spots. However, despite all of this, all of these positive things going on with the team and the reinforcements coming, Houston remains a problem. And that's why the Yankees need to be all in. You don't need the ace this year. You've got a good pitching staff. You don't need to get 2 or 3 bullpen pieces. You've got enough out of the bullpen. Hell, even guys like Ron Marinaccio has stepped up and done a nice job this year. Wandy Peralta has looked good. What the Yankees need is offense. The Yankees need some guys who can hit Houston pitching. Now, we're going to take a look in another segment at how Andrew Benintendi and Ian Happ, some of these guys that we're talking about, do against Houston pitchers. All-Stars. Aaron Judge was voted in as the #1 vote-getter for the American League. Why not? He's on pace for over 60 home runs. He's having a career year, even more so than his amazing rookie campaign. This has been the year that we've wanted to see from Judge for some time, and he's doing it out of center field primarily. His role has completely changed. Giancarlo Stanton and Jose Trevino will be eligible for the Phase 2 fan vote, but that doesn't mean that those are the only guys that got a chance to get in. There will be reserves selected. I think you got a really good chance to see Anthony Rizzo selected. The guy's got 20-plus home runs despite the low batting average, and the Yankees are a lock to have several pitchers selected. Garrett Cole's going to be selected. Nestor Cortez likely going to be selected, and Clay Holmes is a lock to be selected. Those are just 3. I think Mike King has a real chance to be selected, as does Jameson Taillon. I think Jordan Montgomery probably is a snub just based on his last couple of outings kind of fading a bit. But overall, the Yankees should have several All-Stars representing the American League. And last but not least, we'll highlight a couple of players that are really struggling in case you haven't been following the season. And we're getting a lot more people coming on to the season now that maybe didn't start with the Yankees at the beginning of the year because they've been winning so much. Joey Gallo, acquired last year at the trade deadline to be a middle-of-the-order bat and a gold glove type defender, has pretty much lost his left field job. You never see him in left field anymore. And he's not hitting. Just 165 on the season at the time of this recording, a 75 OPS plus. That means he's 25% worse offensively than the rest of the league. Aaron Hicks, before the season, said he wanted to get 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. Well, he's got a lot of work to do. He's only 27 home runs short and 23 stolen bases short, so he's going to need a big second half. Something tells me he's probably not going to get there. Gentlemen, we got to talk about the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0. It is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. You got the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You guys know all about that. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. That's a fantastic tool that every guy can use. The Ultra Premium Body Wash. I actually have some of this stuff. It smells really good. Same with the 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner. But my favorite part of this package is the boxer shorts. These are the most comfortable boxer shorts I've ever worn, and I think you'll like them too. They're very light, very flexible, and they'll keep your boys dry. Visit manscaped.com and use the code NYY Recaps, that's all one word, and you will get 20% off and free shipping on your order of the Platinum Package 4.0, the best deal yet, and your balls will thank you. A lot of times the moves that Brian Cashman makes are moves that you don't expect. Nobody could have predicted, Mike Tauchman or Luke Voigt, Gio Urshela, Clay Holmes last year. This year, everybody's kind of got their eyes on players like Andrew Benintendi, Brian Reynolds, Ian Happ, and we'll talk about some of these guys. But I think Brian Cashman's objective is clear. You need to get players that can supplement the roster now and help you beat the Astros in the playoffs. You're playing to beat one team right now. You have got to get by the Astros. They have given us a ton of trouble this year. So how have the Astros had the Yankees number when pretty much nobody else has? Well, there have been a lot of really close games, but the Yankees have not held a lead in any of those games. They've come out and they've hit the Yankees starters early, and they've shut down the Yankees offense. Judge and Stanton have hit some home runs, particularly Giancarlo Stanton, and Judge has a couple of walk-offs. But for the most part, the offense has done pretty much nothing against the Houston Astros. So I think you need some guys to supplement this roster who have had some success against the Astros. Now, Andrew Benintendi, he's just 1 for 12 against the Astros this season. And last year, he was just 7 for 28. That's .250. Those are both obviously substantially below his numbers against everybody else. So maybe the Astros know how to pitch him. Ian Happ, meanwhile, has literally never played against the Astros in his career, and he's having a pretty good year. He's hitting .280 with 8 home runs and a switch hitter, gets on base, 134 OPS plus. As for Brian Reynolds, who hit 3 home runs the other day, has been playing very, very well. He's played just 1 game against the Astros in his career, and he was 0 for. Reynolds would probably be the toughest guy to trade for because you'd have to unload a lot of prospects. And he's picked it up a little bit lately. He's hitting .258 on the year, got off to a really slow start, but his OPS plus is up to 125, his OPS is over 800, and he's got 15 home runs. As I mentioned, he hit 3 home runs the other day. Another guy who hasn't played the Astros and is a switch hitter. I like the idea of switch hitters in the playoffs because they neutralize some of those bullpen moves. Now, if you're asking me which player do I want to get, honestly, I want both. I think Ian Happ and Brian Reynolds, if you can somehow get them without giving up Anthony Volpe or Jason Dominguez, they give you a real chance to win the World Series this year. Now, there's going to be some tough negotiations. Obviously, the Pirates are going to want a boatload back for Brian Reynolds, but you never know. Maybe the Yankees can move somebody else. There's been interest in Joey Gallo from the Padres and from the Twins. Maybe the Yankees could unload him to get a couple of prospects that the Pirates like or that the Royals like, and then the Yankees wouldn't have to give up one of their top guys. And the Yankees are in a really good negotiating position because they have the best record in baseball. They're probably going to have home field advantage. They just need to figure out a way to get by the Astros. I think with all of the hype surrounding Anthony Volpe and the way that he took the minor leagues by storm last year, the year that Oswaldo Peraza had kind of went under the radar. He hit 18 home runs, he hit .297, he played incredible defense, 834 OPS. He began the year in high A and ended up in triple A. And this year, he got off to kind of a tough start in triple A, but he's really turned it around in June. We mentioned it a little bit on the post-game show last night, but so far in June, actually June is over, he appeared in 20 games, he hit .303, he had an .892 OPS, he had 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 4 doubles, He had 8 walks. He did strike out 20 times, but he also stole 5 bases. He is really rounding into form as a legitimate prospect who could be one pulled hamstring away from being in the major leagues. What do I mean by that? Well, IKF has done a pretty nice job this year, and he's, not really at risk of being replaced at shortstop. However, if for some reason he pulled a hamstring, he got injured, I think the Yankees would look internally at Oswaldo Peraza. Earlier in the year, they might have had to go out and sign a journeyman, something like that, somebody who has some major league experience. But Peraza has done well enough at AAA over this recent stretch that he probably could step in and play shortstop for you if you need him to. All right, I figured since we're about halfway through the season, it would be a good week to kind of take a look back at some of the players that have departed the Yankees this season and see how they're doing in 2022. Luke Voit spent some time injured, but he's starting to round into form. You see, he's got the OPS plus over 100, 9 home runs on the season, but I think Anthony Rizzo was the right move there. Even though Voit is hitting for a higher average, Anthony Rizzo is that deadly left-handed bat that we've been looking for. Also hits situationally. Gio Urshela having a Gio Urshela type season, playing good defense, hitting .258, 7 home runs, 33 RBIs. Honestly, I miss Gio Urshela, but Josh Donaldson's done a decent job on defense. Offense still waiting to come around. Gary Sanchez having another Gary Sanchez type season, barely over 200, a little bit of power. OPS is about league average, however, still can't catch. Tyler Wade having another Tyler Wade season. Also, Corey Kluber has bounced back quite a bit for the Rays. He's got a 3.45 ERA and a 1.082 whip. The question with Corey Kluber is going to be longevity. Can he make it through the entire season? And even if he does, the Rays are kind of in bad shape right now. I don't know if they're even going to be a playoff contender. All right, let's talk about the Cleveland Guardians. You might remember there was a little bit of bad blood between these two teams, especially the Guardians outfielders and the Yankees fans the last time the Guardians were in the Bronx. Yankees in Cleveland this time. Jose Ramirez swinging the bat pretty well this year. He's always swinging the bat pretty well. On pace for a fantastic season, about a 7 WAR. He's hitting .296 with 16 home runs on the year. Stephen Kwan has come back down to earth a little bit, still hitting .284, just 19 strikeouts on the year, so he's tough to put away, even with 2 strikes. And Andres Jimenez really coming into his own this year, hitting .308, 9 home runs, .858 OPS. How much you think the Mets would like to have him back? Even though Lindor's done a nice job this year, Jimenez a key part of that trade. All right, we are approaching the point in the season where you see a lot of guys start to move levels. So let's take a look at some of our prospects, how they've done over the first half, and see who warrants a promotion. Jason Dominguez has shown some real improvement lately. He's got that OPS over 800 on the season. He's been driving the ball all over the ballpark, now hitting over .260, 15 stolen bases. Anthony Volpe has 30 stolen bases at AA. I think he needs a little bit more time, and then he could be in AAA, especially if Oswaldo Peraza gets called up. We talked a little bit about Peraza hitting .240, 16 stolen bases for him. I think that's one thing that you're seeing from the Yankees in the minor leagues is they're taking advantage of the pitch clock. And you know how long it takes for the pitcher to deliver the baseball. You know how long it takes for the catcher to release the baseball and get it to second base on time. So you're seeing the Yankees be much more aggressive and using analytics to steal more bags. That's something that's probably going to come to the major league team as the pitch clock gets implemented in the near future. Ken Waldichuk having a really good year still. 6-2, got that ERA right at 2.00, 1.05. A little bit of a bump in the road in June, but still nasty. And Luis Medina had a very, very good month of June. He's got that ERA down to 3.00. The whip continues to drop. It's down to 1.11. I think he's a real contender to get promoted to AAA in the second half. Hayden Wisniewski had a little bit of a tough month of June. Now 2-7 on the season, 4.02 ERA. He's got 65 innings pitched and a pretty good whip of 1.14, but again, not a great month overall for Wisniewski. Austin Wells is back from his injury and having a really good year. He's got that OPS over 1,000 in high A. I think it's a sure thing that he gets promoted to Double A in the near future. And if he performs well there, he could be on the fast track to the major leagues because he is an advanced hitter and something the Yankees need from the left side. Trey Sweeney has 8 home runs in his first full season in the minor leagues, 707 OPS. Everson Pereira doing a really nice job this year, though he hasn't put up the kind of power numbers that we saw last year. New addition to the farm report, Anthony Siegler, former first-round draft pick, bouncing back a little bit at high A this year. He's hitting .264 with 7 home runs. Estevan Florial got that OPS over 800 in AAA. I think we're going to see more of him in the second half, especially if you have some injuries. And Josh Breaux seems to have kind of fallen back to earth after that really good start to the season. All right, it is time for the NostRadaric prediction, and I'm proud to say that Anthony Rizzo going deep the other night put the batting average back over 500 for the season, now 21 for 41. That's 512, and I will take it. The prediction this weekend, the Yankees will take 2 of 3 from the Cleveland Guardians. Now, I'm going to be missing some time. It is the 4th of July weekend. I've got some plans, so I will be doing a recap on Friday night, and then we're going to miss Saturday's game, and then I'll have something in the morning for Sunday, and then the Yankees are off Monday. So I'll be back in regular rotation on Tuesday. So prediction for this weekend, Yankees will win 2 out of 3.
Hi, this is Don in Colorado. I think the Yankees rely too much on the home run. That's nothing new. I think they're over 50%, the most in MLB. And the last 2 games, this loss to Houston and also their win in Oakland, all the runs were scored as a result of a home run. I think they need a professional hitter, another hitter in the lineup, a guy who can just get on base. And they're going to need that because today was with Houston was like a playoff game, which is what you're going to get.
Hey, what's up, brother? It's your boy, the 5-footer. Listen, I was wrong. I want Joey Gallo out of our lives.
He can't hit for nothing. So, y'all, Derek, my name is Shams, long life Yankee fan, and my take is on Joey Gallo. I think it's safe to say all Yankee fans had enough. It's just really pointless watching this guy still be on the Yankees. He's a waste of at bat. He's an automatic out. The Yankees got to do something to try to solve that problem. I can live with Hicks. You know, if Hicks comes up with big moments like how he did against that Houston series, I can live with that. But Joey Gallo is an automatic out.
He can't hit for nothing.